The end goal is not to graduate from high school or even to go to college. The end goal is for your child to have a successful career that allows them to contribute their gifts to the world and to live a comfortable lifestyle. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon if you're on the West Coast. Thank you so much for being here this evening. I am Patrice Darby, the 9th through 11th grade coach. So I want to ask, what is the end goal of you being a part of this village and college-bound parenting? What is your goal?
My goal is to get them in school.
Get them into college. Yes, sir. Thank you. Anyone else want to share? Free college. Yes, that's important. Very important. My goal is to make this a pain-free experience. I'm not sure I can guarantee that, but we'll try. But one thing I want to encourage you to do is to think that the end goal is not to graduate from high school or even to go to college. The end goal is for your child to have a successful career that allows them to contribute their gifts to the world and to live a comfortable lifestyle. I've given us two phenomenal examples here. This is Tashonda Brown Duckett, who is the president and CEO of TIAA and the former CEO of JP Morgan Chase. Many of us have never seen a Black female CEO of a bank, but this is one. The second example, this is Dr. Kafui Zarasa. He has an MD PhD, which is a combined degree, professor at Duke University, and he's received the nation's highest award for scientists and engineers. This can be your child, but it takes real planning. Let's work backwards from this vision of excellence to see what we can start to do now. So of course, the goal is the career, but in order to get the career, they need the experience. In order to be qualified for high-level experiences, they will most likely need a graduate degree. In order to get a graduate degree, you have to get a college degree. In order to get into college, you have to graduate from high school. But all of this is really predicated on the values that you still instill in your children now. The most difficult cases that I've ever worked with are children who don't care. And getting your child to care about the process and to care about thinking long-term starts with values. So it is imperative that we take the time to instill the values in our children that will help them succeed. As parents, we care about their educations, but they too must be as invested in their own education as we are in order for them to be willing to put forth the effort. We've also got to teach them perseverance. In this time of instant gratification, many of our students are growing up not understanding how to push past challenging times, but success is nothing without integrity. As parents, right now, it's important for you to share your personal experience with the college process. Even if you've never gone to college, it is beneficial for them to understand what your experience was like when you were in their age, whether you went to college or not, so that you earn credibility in their eyes when you start to give them advice. Some things that we should really focus on are, one, that excellence demands sacrifice, whether it's spending hours looking up scholarships or the perfect program for you rising seniors, or whether it's hitting the books to make sure you get that A in AP calculus. It doesn't come easy. And this is something that we have got to hone in on and instill over and over and over. Also, be 10 times the norm. It doesn't matter if all your friends are fine with a C or a C+. You got to teach them to strive for excellence and be willing to go above and beyond. And I say this from my standpoint as someone who works with college students to get them into graduate school. We also need to stress that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. It is easy to become defeated if a child faces a challenge, especially in the classroom, that they feel like it's insurmountable, but they have to understand that they have to keep at it, and good habits breeds results. Also, that success is nothing more than going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. There are many teachable moments along the way for our students to really instill these things, but without naming them, it can be challenging for them to have that to grasp onto when things get challenging in school. Almost all of the students I've ever worked with who've gone on to graduate schools and who've gone on to successful careers have had a person that they can say, wow, I met this person, and so I wanted to become this. Also, having a role model gives them someone else to seek counsel, because we know a wise man seeks counsel. Great thing about mentors and role models is that even if your child decides to totally change field, they're interested in business and then tomorrow they want to be a medical doctor, those individuals who they see that have good character can still be their mentor, even if they are in a different field. So thank you for the two of you who have commented that no, your child does not have a mentor. Relationships do come about naturally, but as a parent, there are things that you can do to help them find a mentor. Number one is encourage them to talk to people. They can network with everyone around them, the people at their church, your neighbors. You don't know who's around you if you don't talk. So you should be talking to people, and you should be encouraging your children to talk about themselves. What are their dreams? What are their aspirations? And what do they see themselves doing right now? So I want to talk to you parents about some of the leading factors that impede minority student persistence in college. We know that graduation rates, especially among African Americans, are not equal to their majority counterpart. And there is data suggesting what are some of the factors. So I think it's worthwhile for us to go into those now so that you all can start to do things at the high school level to help prepare them for what could impede them in the future. So one is academic preparedness. Unfortunately, many minority students are going into college and they're having to take remedial classes. Even if your high school does not require your child to take 4 years of math, they need to take 4 years of math. They need to take 4 years of English, regardless of what the school says. Reading and writing are fundamental. That's something that we've probably heard all of our lives, and it is true. You must require your children to read and to write, because without practicing those skills regularly, they will not be sufficiently trained when they get to college. And it can be a huge mental hit to have to start off taking remedial class. The second major impediment is campus climate. When our kids go to places where they have low expectations, oh, you're from Baltimore, so we don't expect much from you. Oh, you're a Black male, so you're gonna just get a C. That can really affect how they perform in school. The other thing is having an unsupportive environment, feeling like their peers don't care about them, feeling like the professors don't care about them, and also not being prepared for what life in college is like. College is not an extension of high school. There is a different climate, and we've got to start preparing our children for how that's different. Let them spend time on college campuses, especially when you have these half days from school, when they can actually be there when college students are there. Allowing them to mingle, even in a low-key environment, can help prepare them to be comfortable in this new environment. The next is inadequate advising. So by teaching them now to seek out a mentor as a high school student, you will prepare them to seek out a mentor as a college student should their assigned advisor not give them the type of support that they need. The next reason is lack of exposure to practical applications in their field. You're learning business, great, but if you never go out and apply it in real life, you will not succeed in college. So as we train our kids in high school to be 10 times the norm and to seek excellence, we should also be asking them to engage their brains and to find ways to use what they're using in the classroom in real life. The next category is commitment to educational goals and the institution. So like I said, you all are committed. You all have joined this village, but you have to work to ensure that your child is just as, if not more, committed than you are, because that's a huge reason that students end up not finishing college. We've got to flood our children with visions of Black excellence and whatever else that may be a part of their culture, because especially if they go to a primarily white institution, they've got to come in already having that knowledge of self, or else it will be very challenging. The next category is social and academic integration. If they feel like there's no one they can study with, there's no one who's on the same page as them, they can't find people who have the same types of goals as them, kids are more likely to drop out of college. Financial aid, as someone already mentioned, is a very, very big factor. Here, we're trying to make sure that all our kids get to and through college debt-free. And you can do that by being a part of this village. But we know that minority students who receive grants are more likely to continue in college than those who receive loans. So should you be in the situation where maybe they don't get a full ride and there is a small gap, please keep that in mind, that a grant is always preferable to a loan. But with all of these factors that impede our students succeeding, I can tell you that strong values, strong expectations at home, and knowing who they are, as well as selecting the right school and program, can combat all of this so that our kids can be highly successful in college. But we need to start now in high school to start making sure that they have the right frame of mind to go into college with these necessary skills.